You can never make me feel envy. When I know deep down you feel empty. That's why you overcompensating. Your moves don't match what you be saying. I wanna stay, but you be playing. How many times I gotta say this?
What's up, gang? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Janique. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time joining me, make sure you lock into my channel by clicking on that subscribe button and also by clicking on the notification bell. That way you never miss an episode of anything that I do here. And if you have already subscribed to my channel, I appreciate you so much. We see our count going up. Moving on up to the east side. We moving on up in the world, so I appreciate you so much for trusting me with your content. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of not choosing a toxic partner for your next relationship or your current relationship, whatever you got going on right now, whatever season you're in. But if you're interested in hearing more about that subject, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. Let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, so toxic. Ooh. This is going to be a touchy subject, I know, because some people glorify toxicity while other people, they kind of, turn away from it or go against it. So let's first start off with the definition of toxic. So toxic means poisonous, or it can also mean very harmful. When we talk about being toxic is not a positive thing. Normally it means you're adding negativity to someone's life or situation. So we want to make sure that we don't have anything adding negativity to our life. We want to only have people, events, situations, places, things that add positivity to our life. Anything that gets us in a negative mindset, we want to definitely shy away from, because the way to win is to always, no matter what, try to maintain a positive outlook on life. And if you have someone around you that's always being negative, how are you going to do that? So earlier I was talking with God and I was just trying to, ponder on this word and see exactly what scripture could really kind of go along or explain this perfectly. And he brought to my mind Proverbs 21:9, and it says, better to live on the corner of the roof than to share a home with a quarrelsome wife. And I was like, God, is this just for women though? Is this just for men to take into consideration when choosing a woman, or is this for the women too? And he gave me a sign that it was for the women too, okay? Vice versa. We also need to make sure that we understand it's better to live on the corner of a roof than to share a home with a quarrelsome husband, okay? We don't want to share a home with people who are toxic. Now, quarrelsome, what does that mean? Argumentative, disruptive, confrontational, antagonistic, battling.
2,000 years later.
Cantankerous, scrappy, ill-tempered, easily angered, quick-tempered, threatening, toxic. I can go on and on and on, but these are a list of negative things. So quarrelsome is a negative trait for someone to have. So you have to pay attention when you're dating people, how they handle confrontation with you. And confrontation is not always some big battle. It could be a small disagreement. It could be anything really. But I want to give you a story just to let you know like how someone can literally be that way, be toxic, and try to affect you because they hate what you stand for. They hate what you're trying to do, okay? They hate your happiness. They hate it. So toxic people are going to try to add negativity to your life. They're not there to do anything positive. They're there to run you through the mud, to confuse you, to anger you, to affect you in whatever way they can, because for some reason it fuels their spirit. The type of spirit they have is driven by negativity. So you want to avoid people like that. So y'all not going to tell a story. So the last serious relationship I had, like really serious, this guy that I was seeing, when we met, he portrayed this image to me like he was this true man of God. Like, oh my God, like he had me so convinced. Let me say that. That's the right word. He had me convinced that he was this man of God, that he was of the spirit, for the spirit. That's who he was, right? But as I spent more and more time with him, I realized he was a fraud. He was literally the opposite of what he was portraying to be. When he met me, though, he was just trying to match my energy so we could coexist. But eventually, my energy started to be too much for him. I remember one time specifically, we were having a disagreement because when we first met, we went out, and one night we got so drunk at the club, we really went too far that night. So we had agreed that we weren't going to go out anymore. That was something agreed to between us. So come to find out, he was secretly still going to the club. And I'm laughing because grown people are so silly. Like, the fact that you have to sneak to go to the club, it just tells me so much about you. So one night in particular, we actually got into a disagreement because I mentioned to him that we had agreed to not go to the club, but he's been clubbing a lot and getting drunk, and he has a drinking problem. But he didn't want to admit to it at the time. But he got upset with me and told me that I make him feel like he has to be perfect. And I said, how am I making you feel like that? But it wasn't anything specifically that I was saying to him or doing to him. He said that I was just doing it. So I had to think long and hard about how I was making him feel like he had to be perfect. And I realized just by sticking to my word, he felt like I was perfect. Just because I stuck to the word of not going out and he chose not to. He chose to break his promise to himself along with the drinking promise as well. So I made him feel like I was too perfect by sticking to my word. But one thing about me is if I say I'm gonna do it, or if I say I'm not gonna do it, I'm not going to do it. It's just how I am. Once I make up my mind, it's made up. So, and it could take you a while to come to a decision, but either way, when my mind is made up, it's made up. I'm doing it. So, and I won't be swayed. So that was like a strike for me. It was weird to me that I made him feel as if I was perfect, but he was just letting his mask slip. He was starting to show who he really was. So, we end up making up that night. He comes over, and the next morning he can't even get up to go do his job. But he's an entrepreneur, but he couldn't even wake up and go service his clients because he was drunk. So, he had a hangover. He acted like he could not get up I had to go to work, but he acted like he could not get up. So I was like, can you get up? He's like, no, I can't get up or whatever. Can I stay here? I was like, sure. I left a key for him because my job was on the way to his house anyway. So it's literally on the same street. So he said he'll come drop off my key on my lunch break. So I remember specifically before I left the house, I have an iPad that was attached to my phone at the time. So I literally locked my iPad and I put it in its case and I slid it up under the bed where I normally keep it, right? I didn't have a nightstand. So I slid it right up under the bed where I normally keep it. So I go to work like normal and I'm minding my business, and my job was super close to my house. It was like 10 minutes. As soon as I get to work, he's texting me like he's up and at him. I'm like, you literally could have just left with me. But I knew he wanted to stay in my house for a reason. I just knew it. I just couldn't figure out what the reason was until he did this. So I am messaging back and forth with somebody on Instagram talking about personal training because I was doing it at the time. And my iPad, again, is linked to my phone. So I'm guessing he hears the sounds going off, right? So he sends me a text message like, you left your iPad here. I say, yeah, I'm at work. I don't take my iPad with me to work. He's like, well, I could hear it going off. I said, okay. He's like, I could see every notification on it. I said, okay, fine. And he was like, it's real effed up what you're trying to do to me. You're trying to play me. You're trying to this, and that. And he literally goes off and breaks up with me via text message. Now, I'm at work, first thing in the morning. And I believe at the time I was working like 8 to 5 or something. So like first thing in the morning, this is what you're doing between 8 and 9 o'clock. So I'm like, what? And I'm confused because I got my phone and I know what I'm doing. So I'm like, if you're talking about Instagram, and I start sending screenshots of my message because I knew on my iPad that it doesn't even show you the preview of what the message is on any of my notifications. So I literally remember turning that off before I left the house. I remember doing that. Like, I'm not slow. You think I'm slow? I would never play myself like that. But, which is the funny part. So, and I was having a great day, y'all. I was having such a good day because we had made up the night before. So I'm just having really a great day. So I was so upset, first of all, that he would text me that. And I was upset at what he was trying to get mad over. And I was confused because the DMs were literally just me and a guy talking about personal training. So I sent the screenshots over, and then I get upset instantly because if you would break up with me without having a conversation with me first, I don't want to be with you, no way. I sent him a text message like, you know what, we're done then. I don't even want to discuss it. You made your decision just now. It's cool. Take these screenshots and shove them up your behind, And I was like, come on, bring my key on up here. So after I said that, can you believe this toxic man, this grown man who at the time is 3 years older than me, Do you know he texted me talking about he was joking, and I was just in such a good mood before I left, like he had to bring me down a little bit. And I was like, now I'm really done. So go ahead and bring the key on up here, so we can go ahead and end this. So he comes up, and when he pulls up, y'all, he has breakfast for me, right? And do you know he's laughing so hard, like he could hardly control himself. He could barely keep it in. He is just cheesing from ear to ear, like cracking up. I'm like, this is funny to you to like ruin my day? Like literally, like you are throwing my energy completely off. I'm totally the opposite of where I just was before I left the crib. Like I was having a great day, and only to have you ruin it. He was like, man, you was just having too good of a day. I had to, you know, you was just feeling yourself too much today. And I was like, wow, that's who you are. Then he tried to get serious, like, no, I was just joking for real. Like, we can't joke with each other. Let me find out. I don't like when people do that, because your joke and my joke are two different types of things. Like, I would never sit right here and purposely try to control your energy. I would never try to do that. That's manipulation. And we all know from one of my previous videos, manipulation is witchcraft, okay? A lot of these men out here, they be wizards and they don't even know it, for real. So you really have to watch these toxic people, because they would do anything to ruin your day. Anything. And I get home to check my iPad just to double check that my notifications were switched to no preview. And when I got home, I checked, and the iPad was switched to no preview, y'all. He couldn't even see what I was doing on Instagram, and he literally texted me all that stuff to ruin my day. It was so crazy. So yeah, watch out for people like that. You only want to have people around you that bring out the God in you. You don't want to have people around you bringing out traits and characteristics in yourself that you are not wanting to be anymore. Like, you have the opportunity in life to create your own narrative. You can literally become whoever you want to be. All you have to do is take the steps it takes to get there. If you want to be a positive person, you have to not only speak positivity, but see and hear positivity as well. If you are wanting to be negative, you're going to keep yourself in negative environments, negative situations, negative attachments, negative relationships, negative jobs. You're going to keep yourself in negativity because you feel like that's all you deserve. Everybody has a different spirit, and the spirit that we have in our bodies, they require different things to get us through life. You know, that's why some people get hooked on drugs. That's why some people have an alcohol addiction. That's why some people have a sex addiction. That's why some people have a food addiction. Like, because the spirit that inhabits our body, it requires all types of things. So my spirit requires positivity. If the environment is not positive, I can't coexist with it. I literally cannot stay. And I want people to understand that. You shouldn't have to put yourself through that. I talk to my son all the time when he be trying to do like little stuff that could possibly get him hurt. I say, don't you love yourself, son? He be like, yeah. I'm like, if you love yourself, you have to treat yourself good. You can't just be doing all kind of stuff and putting yourself through all types of situations and experiences that you don't have to put yourself through. You don't have to do that. It's almost like people who stay in abusive relationships. And I witnessed this firsthand. I saw not only my own situation, but other people's situations around me. And just to watch people put themselves through that cycle of abuse over and over again, it's scary to me, because it's like, why don't you think you deserve better? We have to get out of the hole that people have placed on us, the shackles that people have placed on us, the thoughts that they have placed on us, the things that they have made us believe about ourselves and tell us that we don't deserve what we want in life. We deserve to have a good life. We deserve to live in a positive environment. We don't deserve to be talked down to every day. We don't deserve to be hit every day. We don't deserve to be manipulated on a daily basis. You literally do not have to put yourself through any of that. Now, I bet y'all are wondering what happened to that toxic partner I had, right? We spent, more months going through more and more toxic things together until I had enough. I couldn't do it anymore, and I walked away. And when he came back around, I think it took 6 or 7 months for him to come back around. And because people's egos be so big, y'all. Their egos, their pride, it be so big. They never want to come back and just apologize to you up front. It takes them months. It's sad that it takes your conscience months to kick in like that. It's really sad. But when he came back and apologized, it was barely an apology. He ended up arguing with me some more. It's like, how do you come back around to apologize and argue with me anymore? Then had the nerve to ask to see me. I said, absolutely not. Like, well, me and you will never see each other. It literally would have to be God himself put us in the same room. Literally take his hands and put us in the same room for us to ever coexist again. It will never happen. Because people who are toxic, unfortunately, they're a product of their environment. The last partner that they had put them through the same toxic cycle, which is why they're trying to pass it on to you. It's really like a cold. You know, you can sneeze on a person, give it to them. Toxicity is spread very easily. Hand-to-hand contact, phone contact, social media contact. It's like toxicity can be spread so many ways. So you have to watch the things that you take in and the people that you allow in your space. I can't stand somebody who is always negative. That it literally grinds my gears. When I actually broke up with that guy, do you know I had a friend who was helping me get through that experience, and every day she makes sure she FaceTime me, and the first thing she asks is, have you spoken to this person? Have you spoken to this person? Have you spoken to this person? You know how annoying. Do you know how annoying and frustrating it is to be trying to get over somebody while you have another person who checks in on you daily and asks you that question? Like, to trick, it's almost like they're trying to trigger you more. It's like, dang, I just got rid of one toxic person and I'm still experiencing this. Like, why am I putting myself through this? One day I had to finally tell her, like, hey, listen, I'm over that. That's the past. I'm past that. I have moved on. I let him go and I've moved on. Stop bringing him up, or I'm not going to be able to talk to you every day. I'm not going to be able to talk to you at all. Like, if you cannot go one conversation without asking me, have I talked to him? Then me and you can't be friends, okay? Clearly, if I had talked to him, I would have said something to you already. I know you want to know. You're pressed to know what happens next. You're pressed to know what happens. You're pressed to know what he's going to do next, what's going to happen next. Am I going to give him another chance? Because people don't believe that you're going to leave somebody alone. But baby, me, one thing about me, if I say I'm done with you, I'm finished. There's no more talking about it. Like, once I have rendered a decision on your behalf, why would I go back and redeliberate? Why would I go back and deliberate about that decision? I wouldn't, okay? I only need one deliberation session to really find out, like, what I'm gonna do with you. And once I figure it out, we done. Nothing. I mean, I'm cold to you. So yeah, watch out for your friends too. Your friends can be toxic, okay? I used to have a friend who would call me every day as well and literally complain about her job all day long, on her breaks, lunches. Anytime she can get to call me, she would call me and dump on me about this job. And I'm like, why don't you just find another job? Oh no, the money's too good. Like, the stuff y'all put yourself through for money, like, I got so sick of hearing it. I had to really let her know, like, I can't listen to this every day. I can't. And people, again, add negativity to a situation. It's like, you're probably the problem. Like, you call me and complain about this every single day. How do you have time to dwell on negativity? It's like a breeding ground for other spirits. Now, I know those examples may not be the situation that you're currently going through, but I thought it was important to still share them with you. That way you can know, like, there is light on the other side of the tunnel. Like, I know you may only see darkness right now because the person that you're with may have you in, like, a mental prison, like, where they are so toxic, like, you just negative, you're just upset, you're angry, you're in a situation, you don't know how to get out. But I'm letting you know, you make the choice in your life to avoid negativity. It is a choice. A life with God is a choice. How do you know God is present in your relationship? You'll feel peace there. If you feel negativity, if you feel toxicity, if you feel any of those words that I listed earlier, if you feel threatened in your environment, if you feel like you have a hot temper in your environment, if somebody is constantly triggering you, every day you're yelling, you're upset, you're angry, that's no life to live. I would rather struggle alone than to be with somebody and to experience mental warfare every single day. That's why I'm single. I'm not finna put up with it. I'm not dealing with the mental prisons on a daily basis. I remember being in these relationships like the one I talked about earlier, and literally every day is a bad day. Every day is a bad day. And you might have one or two good days out of your whole time with the person, and those good days are what you try to hold on to because you hope more good days are coming. You're like, man, this person, they're tripping right now, but in a few days they'll be good, and they never good. Like every time they supposed to be good, they still bad. They're still bad. Like and it's always them trying to really get attention. It's like, if you want my attention, there's other ways to get it. You don't have to be negative to get my attention. But most people think that. That's why if you see on like some of these gossip sites, so say the Shade Room posted where a celebrity commented back to a regular person who was talking mess to them, and the person replies again saying, hey, I'm actually a big fan, I love you, actually, like I don't even mean that, like but they said it to get a reaction because they know people automatically hold on to negativity before they hold on to positivity. And I don't know what it is between humans. I don't know what this thing is with humans, like the human species, where we just hold on to negativity. We want to reply to negativity and not the positivity. That's why in my comments, if somebody comments something positive, I'm right under them. Thank you for your support. I'm not just going to reply to negative comments because I'm not putting any energy into negativity. Period. Sometimes you got to let people know about themselves, but at the same time, I want to make sure I'm not feeding into that negative entity, because these negative spirits, once a negative spirit attaches itself to you, once a toxic spirit attaches itself to you, it's very, very hard to get it to go away. I was seeing somebody, and I knew about his previous 2 relationships where one girl, she cheated on him real bad, and she did all this other shady stuff. And this other girl, she pretended the kid was his, and she pretended they were having a baby together, and the baby really wasn't his. So just to go through that back to back, as a man, I can understand how your trust could be a little messed up. So for those people, I'm a little bit more patient when somebody acts like they're ready, they've healed, they've done what they need to do. I'm a little bit more patient in those situations. But at the end of the day, people are broken. Some things really break people, and they can affect them for a very long time. And if they don't have the proper tools to heal themselves or to get healing, then they'll be messing up a long line of other people because somebody hurt them. And we know this. We know people do this all the time. Hurt people do hurt people. And this guy, he was so sweet at the beginning, but as time went on, every time he got upset because I wanted to address something, if I ever tried to communicate about my feelings, or if he ever thought I was mad at him, like maybe I hadn't even said anything yet, and he thought I was going to get mad at him, he would respond to that feeling that he got by trying to like hurt my ego a little bit, hurt my self-esteem, kill my self-esteem, or talk down to me, or just make me feel some type of way. He always tried to trigger me. It's like, why do you want to do that? It's so immature, and not only that, it's weird. I said I was gonna start saying that more. It's weird to try to trigger somebody that you really love, like you really like this person, you really want to be with them, but you don't think you deserve it. So you just self-sabotage and you do these things to make a person view you in a negative light. It's so sad because you think they view you like that anyway. People project on you all day long, but it's like, I kept saying, like, these people, they'll put you through stuff because they're going through it. Hurt people, because I know, like, if you was good, you was happy about everything, nobody would have any problems. You think I go around picking fights all day? No. That's the last thing on my mind. It's like, right, you really have to be having a bad day to pick a fight with me, because I'm all about peace. I want to be peaceful with you. I don't want to argue with you. I don't even want to take it there. It takes so much to even get me in that energy anyway, because that's far from my normal energy. And a lot of these guys that I've dated, they'll pick a fight with me, and after they pick the fight with me and they say all kind of crazy stuff, like stuff you'd be like, what is wrong with you? I would never, even if I thought that about you, I would never say that to you. You understand? I would never repeat what somebody said about you in an argument. I would never do that, because that's low. You don't even know if it's true or not. You just asking around about somebody, you understand, without getting the facts. And people don't even know. People be so jealous of your relationship with one person. They'll tell you anything about the person. Anything to get you to not see them the same way you've been seeing them. Anything to get you guys to break up because they can't get the person. So you have to watch out for people like that. But that guy, he always wanted to pick a fight with me and then tell me he loved me after, like, and thought I was going to say it back. I'm not telling you that back. I know what love is supposed to feel like. I haven't felt it yet, but I know what it's supposed to feel like. So I know this is not making me feel happy. This is not making me feel good. This is not making me feel peaceful. This is putting my spirit in turmoil. This is making my spirit uneasy. This is causing me to toss and turn at night. When you're experiencing things like that, you know you have a toxic attachment. These people, they're so hard to get rid of once they come into your life. Now that guy is so toxic. Do you know the guy, he won't stop coming. I don't care how many times I block him. I don't care. He'll change his number. I don't care how many times I ignore him. He's going to try every other month to try to get back in my life. He's so pressed to ruin my energy. He just want a piece of it, because these negative people, they don't get, most people are not positive. I want y'all to know that. Like, y'all know, y'all living in the world, most people, 9 out of 10 people are negative. 9 out of 10. That's sad. 9 out of 10 people are negative. So once a negative entity gets a piece of your positive spirit, of your Holy Spirit, you know what they're gonna do? They're trying to sink their teeth into you. Okay, they're trying to literally make you see them for who they aren't, and you have to live in truth. That's why I tell people, you have to live in truth. Period. Live in truth 24/7. That way, when something like that comes around and tries to attach itself to you, you see it for what it is. You can lie to yourself if you want to, but come on, God knows the truth. That's why I'm making this video today, okay? These negative entities, they will try to lash themselves onto you. So you have to make sure you understand right now. After this video, you need to take a good, hard look at the relationships that you entertain and ask yourself, is this person toxic? Are they toxic? Do they care about themselves? Because if they don't even care about themselves, how are they going to care about you? How? A person doesn't even care about themselves. They don't even love themselves. How can they love you? They can't. People can only give you what they had to give. People don't have nothing in their cup, and they're trying to pour into your cup. Their cup empty as hell. And they're trying to pour into your cup. They have nothing to give you. They're just taking from you. They got you pouring back into them. Look, their cup's still empty. So people will take your positive energy and go give it to the next person as well. So don't forget that. Like, you wonder how a man has energy for another girl. It's because he done drained you of your energy by being toxic, and he's taking it to another girl and trying to portray to her like he's this type of guy, he's this nice guy, he's this good guy, to try to get her next, because he's preparing his next supply. Okay, so make sure you watch out for these people, these negative spirits, these negative entities. That's how you need to look at everybody. Every person that encounters you, you need to look at them like a spirit. Like, literally, you're a spirit. Like, you're a spirit. I know you're a spirit. Let's see what type of spirit that you have. It's not about what they look like. It's about what's on the inside. I'm telling you, because the inside is what's going to get you every time. And you just really got to watch people, because people literally will come in your life to try to put you through it on purpose, because they're hurting, guys. So you have to really spot it out early. See what people are trying to do. And you really have to take inventory of the people that daily try to add something positive to your life. They're an asset. They're somebody that you need around. They're somebody that contributing to your future, who you're going to be later on in life. Those are the types of people you want to have around. You don't want to have anybody that's taken away from you. We all know stress is a killer. Disease is a killer. And these things are caused by our mind, okay? These things all start in the mind. Disease, dis-ease, it starts in your mind. All these things start in your mind. So you have to protect your vessel, protect your mind, protect the stuff that you take in, because everything is spiritual. You could be under spiritual warfare and not even know it, because you're so blinded by love. When half of us, most of us, don't even know what real love feels like. Okay? Because if you knew what it felt like, you would not spend any more time with the wrong person. I hope you got something from my message today. If you did, make sure you go ahead and click that like button. And you make sure you check out some of my other videos. And I will see you in the next one. Janique here, Janique TV. Peace.